Hey guys, Nick here, and today we will be getting in to the first part of What If Dale Survived the remake and the still ongoing series, because What If Eastman Survived was more or less a shorter story than I've done in a minute, besides What If Negan Killed Maggie the remake, and because even if the story gets dark a while later, as I've mentioned before in other videos and streams, it still has a massive story to tell. But before we get into all that and the story itself, let's talk about Dale for a second. You see, I did a What If Dale Survived about almost a year at this point. Actually, 2 years at this point. But I nerfed Dale and Herschel much more so than I reasonably should have. But soon enough, as my channel would grow and I would tackle bigger stories, I actually gave Herschel and Dale, and am still giving them more time to shine in the world of The Walking Dead. For example, my What If Sophia Joined Negan finale had Herschel live straight to the end of The Walking Dead and die peacefully, like many of us thought he would, and how Maggie thought he would too. Then, in my What If Madison's family joined Rick near the finale of that story, I had Dale live all the way to the Whisperers getting killed by the likes of Dante, which really didn't focus on Dale too much. It did in some aspects. Didn't even with Herschel. I'm just saying that I made them live longer. But I haven't made a story that truly tackles Dale, what he's about, and that little mini 13-minute thing that I did, I really could have done better. With Herschel, I can't really work with much, really. Some levels of, like, his family, but not him as a central character. But Dale, his moral compass, what he stands for, I think it's time that we finally dive into a remake, which will turn Dale's character into something that it should have been brought into. And with that, let's set the scene. So, we're right in the middle of Season 2, near the end, right whenever Randall is destined to die. Dale, unfortunately, exiting himself out of the situation, seeing a dead animal, and would originally get killed by the walker that Carl failed to put down. Now, there are 3 ways in which he could escape this fate. Not all really, mattering, but just 3 ways. 1, Carl shoots the freaking walker instead of playing with it like a stupid little child. Because honestly, he's even admitted and was right. He killed Dale. 2, Dale sees the walker coming much earlier and is able to shoot it, or, shoot it right whenever it gets at his face. Either way, both of those don't really matter. And number 3, and like I said, this is just another little thing to add there. Whenever Dale is getting attacked by the walker, and this is all split second, by the way, he manages to fight off for a little, but just before the walker can claw at his stomach, Daryl comes in just a few seconds early, right before the nails of the walker begin to reach Dale's stomach, and knifes the walker with minimal effort, saving Dale straight away before anything major could happen. Now, either one of these 3 scenarios happening in the moment would change the story a little, but the fact of Dale surviving is already so humongous that either one of these 3 scenarios wouldn't matter as to how he lives, because it's just one little tiny little way that he could live. Either way, the central part being Dale survives. And Andrea is very thankful for this, and says to Dale that Randall is still alive, and that they did not kill him. And she wanted to personally come and tell him about that before that walker came in and everything. Dale just shrugs off the whole walker thing and is very happy that he was wrong about the group, and seeing that they're still human, that they've not lost their humanity like he had originally thought. But then, right as he says these words and thinks it to himself, he looks over to a certain someone who he knows, is not going to be happy with this. Shane. Now, he and Shane had talked in the original before this, and Shane said that if they kept him alive, he wouldn't say a word. But considering that at the last minute, probably, he was destined to live, Dale just picks this up as a last-minute decision. He doesn't know that Carl came in and everything like that. But he knows that Shane's not going to be happy about this. But everything goes much more peacefully with Dale not dead. And Carl, he wouldn't feel guilty here probably at all. He would probably feel like he would get reprimanded for, coming in and, disrupting the whole Randall thing. But that wouldn't really be a big deal, at least to the characters here. He wouldn't be afraid to hold a gun because he didn't kill Dale. He would say, or probably admit to someone that he called in the walker or didn't kill it, but if he did kill it in one of those scenarios, then it wouldn't really matter. But what does matter is that Lori still talks to Shane, which prompts Shane to go and kill Randall. Because if it weren't for Lori saying sorry and getting all like that with Shane at that moment, he wouldn't have gone and killed Randall. That much was clear. And soon enough, T-Dog, like the original, notices that both of them are gone. Shane's nowhere in sight, and Randall is nowhere in sight. Dale picks this up too, right behind T-Dog, and is the first one right away to pick out that Shane is gone along with Randall. And his mind goes in a bunch of different places, knowing exactly what this means. But since no one else can really pick it out, will Dale be the only one to check out Shane's treachery like he has multiple times before? Will he be around to see Shane try to kill Rick firsthand? Or will the story go the same, but with Dale still playing a centerpiece part in this particular part of the tale? And that's where we leave things for the moment. Hope you guys like the short little introduction to the story. It's mainly because the story's still ongoing, and I'm still way far ahead enough to make up, for that, hundreds of pictures. But I always like to start small with my stories in general, and then work up, like my What If Eastman Survived. So, I truly hope that you guys like this little introduction to the story, and enjoyed my What If Eastman Survived story. Also, the new Rick as a Super Saiyan picture and new intros and outros that I'm working on recently. Hope you guys check them out and just really appreciate the new art and everything. It's all thanks to Power Director that I was able to make this. But anyways, hope you guys like this part and stay tuned for more parts of What If Dale Survived, the remake. Like and subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys then.
Now it's time. No! Get out!